Hey everybody, in this episode of Box Office Breakdown, the weekend's box office shaped up very well for Michael Myers. He slashed through the competition to take number one. We're going to break down Halloween and much more next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Hey everybody, welcome to Box Office Breakdown. There you go.
Yay.
You know what? This is the show that we look back at the box office that was, and then we like to
prognosticate
about the box office that lie ahead. I'm Frank Moran.
What's up? Kari Lane here.
I'm Cassandra Martinez.
And as always, folks, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give it a thumbs up while you're there, or 2, or 3, or 4.
Close here. We can reach.
And of course, we've got the chat up and running. I know Kari and Amy have got this right here at their fingertips. But Kari, if they're watching this after the show stream live, what can they do?
Oh, yeah, Frank. You guys can comment down below.
Oh, look at that. So easy to stay involved with the show. That's what we like to do. We'll just jump right into it. This weekend, I saw a big haul at the box office for one film in particular, and that was Halloween, the 2018.
It's not Halloween yet, though. What are you talking about?
It's not. It's people getting excited. They're getting ready. You know, I mean, come on, you're eating candy all this month anyway, so why not just enjoy it all?
Celebrating already.
That's right. So I know I'd seen it earlier, and I had my thoughts about it. Kari, Amy, did you see it as well?
I did. I saw it this afternoon.
Oh,
that.
so it's fresh in your mind.
Yes.
There you go.
So I was able to make sure I got here, wanted to see it for our show.
Look at you doing it. Not even for our show. You did it for our show? Not even horror movie news?
I do for them, too. It's a convenient.
Oh, all right. So I feel like a little less special now.
Oh.
So what did you think, Kari?
I thought it was okay. I did not love it. They had good tension moments, like you were saying. I asked last time of like, is it scary? There's some good moments of tension. There's so many moments where the people are dumb, and that just bothered me. Like one part where someone gets out of a car, I out loud was like, no. I was like, oh, sorry. Like, what are you doing? Like, no logical person goes, yes, let me go jump into this dangerous situation completely ill-equipped. And it doesn't end well. Spoilers, but not really. And so things like that, they're just moments where people just do behavior that's really, Also, double tap. There could have been so many more moments of that. Make sure somebody's...
Oh,
you know?
Okay. Yes,
so many moments of that where I'd be like, no, I'd be unloading every weapon you had or something like that. Which is what the psychiatrist says on one of the tapes. Like, I would shoot him as many times as I could and burn him.
Loomis.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like, I agree. Mm-hmm. Not spoiler, but, yeah. So things like that were kind of like, Some of the, like, the ending, some of the stuff that happens, I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. But I wish I didn't feel it as much as I would have wanted to for what it is. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Like, it could have been more like, yes, kind of a moment. And I felt more like, okay, cool. I just didn't feel... I love horror movies. I love Halloween. And I didn't feel it's, like, pumped.
I understand. No, I completely understand that.
I was going to say, is that kind of how you were feeling?
Yes.
A bit? Okay.
Amy?
Yeah, I did not feel the way that you guys felt. I really loved it. There were some issues where I'd just stop and be like, I don't like what you're doing, but let's keep going. And then they would fix it a little bit.
Not much. No,
but enough for me. Having watched 99% of the Halloween movies of the whole franchise.
You've been watching them. Woo!
It's just French.
What was that
French,
1%?
Fresh. The one after H2O. It started and I was like, and I was like, no, I don't like what you're doing. And then the Rob Zombie ones after that. Yeah.
Got it. So I feel like that's less than 99%.
Okay, I'm sorry. 97? 96? Okay, whatever
90.
percentage it was.
She's watched a lot.
Mad props. It was very fresh in my mind, and so I was kind of like, okay, so erase this to here, and none of that happened. Okay, this is happening. All right, I'm ready. And then just to see Jamie Lee Curtis just as Laurie again, it just made me feel all the warm and fuzzy feelings, but also like, dang girl, you can really kick butt. Mm-hmm. And Judy Greer was fantastic, and even the granddaughter too. Mm-hmm. I mean, the way that they ended everything, it just made me feel very powerful, and I felt very moved. So kind of the complete opposite of you guys.
That's great.
So that's,
I
loved it.
Well, I guess the show's over now. All right,
it.
that's it. Bye, everybody.
Look at the chat. Ryan says, I love this movie. Movie stayed with me for 3 days straight, and it's an amazing sequel to the original. I did think, it's been a while since I watched the original, but I felt like it fit very well sure, it's been this much time, and I could buy it. I like the line which I think was in the trailer even, where the friends are all talking and they go, "Oh, didn't they say that's like their sister?" And like, no, that's just a like rumor. And I like that that's a way to address the other films and just be like, no, pretend those don't exist.
All right. Before we go any further, I feel like there's just, we want to talk about this, and the people in the chat room seem to be excited about this film. I'm just going to put up just like a nice little spoiler warning right here.
Wait, spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Okay, yay!
Yes.
Or change the lights.
There you
do
go.
Something so they see.
We're going to dive a little deeper into the film there.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So when you see the colors change back, if you're fast forwarding through all this because you don't want to hear it, when you see the colors change back to normal, know that we're just getting back into the business at hand for the box office breakdown. But spoiler alert, we're going to dive into a little bit more Halloween.
Okay.
More
2018
red
edition.
light. Do
Okay.
more obvious. More
Okay.
red.
All right.
All right. Okay. So when
Amy's on fire.
That's exactly what I'm going to talk about,
All right.
actually.
Oh,
yes.
you're all speaking
when
of.
he gets on fire, I was like, well, we've seen it before. He's been fine with fire. But then it's like, okay, well, technically, this is after the first movie, so ignore everything that ever happened after that.
No
So-
body, no proof is my thing.
Exactly.
Which is,
so,
was that the open ending you were
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
because the thing that kills me is that even the ending of the film kind of just milks it down when they cut back to the basement and it's on fire instead of that low angle looking up at the stairs where you're looking back up towards the kitchen, and he's not even around.
well, because he's hopefully dead, but then you see the granddaughter with a knife, like she's the next generation.
That's
I'm
been
like,
one speculation that I've read about where they say like, she's so traumatized
Yeah.
that she ends up becoming more of a killer herself.
Which the psychiatrist kind of hints at.
Yes.
I like that kind of twist.
Did you?
No! I have some very strong
I was
feelings.
angry about it, but I didn't really see that coming.
I'm gonna
put the mask on.
That was dumb.
I would have liked that twist better if he had been a more athletically built man. Because he was so dopey when he pulled that mask on.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this
yeah.
is so weird.
Well, and it was so obvious because before he's like, I want to see like his what his feelings are. Or
What he felt like.
Yeah, to kill someone. And then I'm like, okay, so you're gonna go bad, blah blah blah. So I just wanted it to be over. And so then when Michael really took care of him, I was like, okay,
I did
cool.
like that. That was good.
So that was a correction.
Yeah.
I felt like-
Then so it's like, what were the other moments of dumb?
To stay on that
husband?
moment. The interesting the choice that they make where they really do a good job of setting her up where she's trapped in the police car
Oh my
with
God.
Michael
Yeah.
Morrow's unconscious body. It's so weird and so random. I mean, I guess because he's a shape and he can do anything that he wants, it could be purely random, his motives, as
Yes.
we're rewriting history, that he goes after the psychiatrist first rather than this person that's sitting right next to him.
He has a history with psychiatrists, so I could buy that. That's okay.
Well,
So the husband
yeah.
going outside. Going outside.
Oh, that's
Dumb.
fine. That's
and then
fine.
I'm going to go up to this weird car where nobody's responding. I'm going to get all up close and do that. All
No.
that was nope.
But he's
so
not
many
even,
moments.
He's not even likable, so I was like, yeah, die, because you're not smart enough to be part of this.
But there were so many moments of like, no, and the kid getting out of the car, and his was dumb.
Oh.
And as soon as they pull up and see the inmates, no. Doors locked, call the cops in the car, and reverse.
Yes.
No need to get, all that was so like,
That was frustrating. Okay, and then the boyfriend that kind of like sort
Yes.
of
Who
cheated.
disappeared.
Yeah, disappeared. He didn't die, but the friend, the poor kid, he just like died awfully. It was just kind of like not gagging, but I was really grossed out by it.
If you were in an argument with somebody and they took your cell phone and they threw it into a big bowl of pudding, you would just leave it there? You would not
Just
at least
take
just
them.
Which
retrieve it, even if it
technically,
might not
you
work.
could get it out right away, and that's not like water where it would have soaked in and ruined it. And I do like that she, but I felt it's more of a statement that
was
she's
more-
like, yeah.
No, but that was dumb because no one leaves places without their phones.
And
on,
even if it-
on purpose.
Yeah, even if it didn't work, assuming you say,
Yeah.
I would still not just leave it in there. I'd be like, no, I'm taking this with me.
So Neela J says, I wanted more of the final fight between Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis character, but overall good movie. Yeah, I wanted a little bit more with that and like the female empowerment kind of thing at the end, like, oh, they take him down. But I didn't feel that. Oh,
Yes.
I did, because it's all three of them. And then that point where Laurie Strode falls off, and then he's like, score. And then we cut back, and then bam, she's gone. It's like, and everyone cheered.
I did like that moment.
Theater.
That was a good
So it's
switch
like,
of
good for
when
you.
Jamie Lee Curtis is on the ground and like
Yeah, that was
she
nice.
disappears. I was like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, them standing up there together, I knew I should have felt it more of, yes, it's all these strong women. They've fought and they've succeeded so well. But I was just like, cool.
Well, I did like in that moment where after he sees that she's disappeared from the ground, that it kind of reverses the point of view where it becomes like Michael, he's feeling like he's the one that's being preyed upon.
Zayas
And
agrees the husband scene was dumb.
It's just
It was super
but we
dumb.
don't like care about him.
well,
I know.
but
I certainly
But I
do.
still feel like in this day and age, it's just people wouldn't behave that way. It's one thing to do back in the 80s, where you're just like you're caring about it. These are people
Yes,
just
things were
fodder for
different.
kills.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, like people who've grown up watching these, they know the sensibilities for them. I don't think people would still behave like this in 2018.
Well, see, I think it was
Agreed.
that Judy Greer's character growing up with Laurie Strode as her mother, kind of being overprotective. And I mean, her growing up and being like, you know what, you're crazy, Mom, but like, fine. So then I think that part of that whole, like, you're crazy, Mom, transfer to the husband that's like, everything's fine, it's not that bad. So even when he was in that, dangerous position of they're all kind of, we know that Michael's out there, he was like, well, let me go see. Like, he didn't register because he wasn't raised a certain way of like, hey, don't be stupid, pay attention.
Regardless of that, they know there's a serial killer
Yeah, but he's
outside,
not
and
very
nobody
open-minded to like, hey, you need to be
so.
careful.
I agree with this one too. Zayas Bilou said the little kid being babysat stole the movie for me.
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
he was adorable. I
Yeah.
loved him too. Then what was it? Ryan said the bathroom kill was the favorite part.
With the teeth.
That also had moments of just stupidity in terms of, and weird coincidence. He just happens to be at the gas station, unless he was stalking them, and even then, it's like, but how did he know to find him there? But
Oh, and
whatever.
then the mask. What does this make you feel? Or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Oh, him
Like,
yelling at
I hope you
say
die.
something.
Like, what the heck?
yeah.
Yeah.
But he comes in, and the guy comes in the bathroom, sees him there, and does. I'm sorry, I would be like, shut the door or get help or something, or full attack mode. And then even the girl, it's like it is flight or fight. You have to. You can't hold back. And then it's like, well, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like anybody, I was just
So-
like, they're gonna die.
Yeah, you can't just sit there inside
Yes.
the bathroom stall. Go ahead.
Sorry. One last.
And then Zayas Bilou point out it is Carolina from Runaways, the babysitter.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
There you go.
That scene closer to the end where Judy Greer is getting ready to fire at Michael, but she doesn't see him, and she's like, "Mom, I'm sorry, I can't do this." And then
Oh,
he comes,
yes,
gotcha.
that was
I was
good.
like,
That is the moment where I was like, yes, I feel it.
yeah.
Yeah, but then I was like, for all the training she did, and I mean, I guess it's been years, but like, she only wings. I'm like, come on, I really wanted like that
Yes!
satisfaction of a great.
Headshot.
Yes.
And then him somehow survive. I'd actually be okay with that.
Yeah.
Be like, sure. And they should have unloaded every bullet they had into
Yes.
He's standing right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd be like, no, I'm going to keep shooting until every single bullet is out of my gun.
Yes.
So that was the moment I'm like, oh. But when the stairs did the thing, I was like, oh, okay. That made me a little happier that they're all just standing there. You're sitting there going, what do you got to do? And then, toof. Okay, that's cool. But yes, keep shooting until...
Yes. It's just,
Yeah.
the fact, I mean, I know that this, given, we haven't even talked about the money it's made this weekend, but it's done huge, way bigger than people were expecting to do.
Yeah.
So you know that the sequel's coming, and it just, it's got to come.
Okay, something kind of funny though. Patrick in the chat says, but you guys were mostly fine with all the dumb shit in Venom.
I wasn't. Come on.
He wasn't. And then we must
I was
also
great
say,
with both.
we have on this end, I was going to say Jamie. I said Jamie Lee Curtis. Amy is,
Oh my God! Wow! Thank you so much.
Amy is totally liking Halloween. And it's Frank and I that are a little more, could have been better. And then Venom, it was this side that liked it, didn't. So, hey
Venom's
now.
rough.
I
Different
think the
movies.
thing is, it's super different movies. This movie, since there's so much like quote unquote realisticness in it, the stupidity is more annoying. Because Venom, since it's so absurd and this comic book world, you can let a lot more slide. So in this, it's the sensibility that I want a horror movie where my characters aren't dumb. They try to do the best and it still doesn't work.
Yes.
Like the babysitter, she checks and she did try to get away well. I was like, okay, cool. She tried to get away. The slip fall, you go, oh, bummer.
Yeah, but that
It was
just
bad. It was a little obvious.
that one comes
But
back to
still.
me as like lame ways to get somebody to die really easily.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I tripped. Oh, I'm running. Oh, I tripped. That's
A little bit, yes.
I mean, guys, they're in a very intense situation. We don't know how we would act.
Ooh,
So
actually, I
maybe
almost would
your
have liked
legs-
it if she
Bring
had
in
run,
Michael
hit the
Mann.
railing, and fallen over the railing. That would have been kind of cool.
And then
Yes.
cracked her neck.
Yeah. Like that one I'd buy better if like you run and then you slide and hit the railing and fall. And I'd buy that more.
I want to watch it again, though. No.
So
I'm just
some-
like very in it.
Patrick goes, guess I don't need to see this movie, LOL. Hey, we did a spoiler warning. We're just venting on the things of what we felt about. It was just, I wanted more.
Yeah, it's, you would think like if this is going to be
Actually,
kind of...
I had very neutral going into this. I'll retract that statement a hair saying I had no expectations. I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm really excited. I just was thinking, okay, cool, I want to see a horror movie. And it just felt like, oh. And you get nothing on his motivation. And okay, sure, we don't have to know everything. But I'd like a little bit. Is it really just random? And then, but that's the point. It's just random. Or
$1 million. Coming in number 3, Venom, which 2 people liked incorrectly, and one person had it right.
Whatever.
It's not that great of a film. $18.1 million.
it is subjective. You are allowed to have opinions and like a movie or not like a movie.
Well,
Just saying.
yeah, but your opinion's wrong.
Your opinions are wrong.
Coming in number 4, we've got Goosebumps. So that popped out there again.
Yay! I'm glad they did well because that's a good alternative family horror movie if you want to be in the mood for something Halloween themed, but you have younger children. I do recommend that one
All
for
right.
the younger kids. This gesture, I'm like little kids.
Only this tall. If they're
Yes.
any about this, do not bring them. 9.7 for that. And lastly, First Man. $8.5 million there at the box office. So we did do our bet on Halloween because it was the only film out this week. So it was a very easy film. Usually we have you people in the chat room vote on which one we'll be doing the box office bet on. Sadly, there's only one film coming up this weekend. We're kind of the doldrums of October. But it's going to start picking up the next week after this.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yes, there's
excited.
some good ones.
So we have the Gerard Butler thriller, Hunter Killer. It's been a while since we've had a good submarine movie.
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
was like, which one was that one? And I do
Yeah.
remember that trailer now.
So yeah, that'll be on 2,600 screens. So we'll be doing our box office bet for that at the end of the show. Yeah, I was excited by that one.
Feel more neutral of like, okay. Like I don't feel any rush to the theaters for that one.
Yeah,
I love Hunt for Red October.
yeah. Or there's the that was at the Harrison Ford one. Was it like the Widowmaker K-19 with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Yep.
And then there's but the Widowmaker. There's the one with the Harrison Ford in there too. So.
Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
right.
the one
Yeah,
you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Okay.
guys. He spent a lot of time on that
Hello.
submarine. Yeah. So internationally, before we start moving on towards next week's stuff, we've got Venom continues to lead the international box office, scoring a hat trick at number 1 with $32.3 million this weekend for an offshore total of $290.7 million and a global total of $461.2, and that's with China and Japan still on deck. In second, Stars Born rocked out to $22.8 million to push the offshore total to $74.7 million, and the worldwide total passed the $200 million mark. And Halloween, the offshore rollout is staggered with the got into 23 markets this session, including only 3 majors. It got $14.3 million in its debut, lifting the worldwide total to $91.8 million.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically, the offshore totals were in line where Universal had the picture as we headed into the weekend, though they are lower than projections of some industry sources who were overly bullish on the offshore total. I feel like horror does well
Yes.
internationally, but slasher.
what kind,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the slasher type film, I don't know how well that.
I think Supernatural because it depends like worldwide everybody has ghost stories. So Supernatural I feel can like resonate more
Yeah.
worldwide. Slasher is I feel more of a genre here. Real quick, someone in the chat asked, and I was looking that up because I was like, oh yeah, that came out. The Hate You Give got. Someone was asking on that one.
That was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that
With
was
KJ Appa from
a little bit.
Riverdale.
Just real cool. What?
What?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Opening weekend, it got 13th rank and it only made 512,000, so it didn't quite break 1 million. But right now, it's much higher, so it's been out a little bit. But
Oh, there you go.
anyway,
Basically, industry experts or sources were expecting like It or the Nun type style opening there for at least it's for its domestic debut. And basically, it was there's 46 markets to go next weekend, and we should see it kind of raising up after
Crimson Tide.
that.
Thank
There
you,
you
chat.
go. Look at that. So basically, though, in like-for-like, so the Halloween total of the $14.3 million international opening is comparing well to, it's above Split, and Insidious, A Quiet Place, The Conjuring, Insidious 2, Lights Out, Rings, Jigsaw, Don't Breathe, Happy Death Day, and it is below Annabelle, though. Annabelle's the one that it didn't do as well.
Interesting.
New Happy Death Day trailer 2 is out. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because I really like the first one.
It was surprisingly good.
Yes.
But I know some people are going to be waiting to watch Halloween until closer to Halloween.
Sure.
So maybe we'll see a little bump. Bump.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And First Man had a decent second weekend, opening #1 in Korea. So, Johnny English Strikes Again, which is out in 57 offshore markets, before getting to North America next week, is within striking distance of $100 million. So look at that.
Wow.
People love
I
that Johnny English.
remember when that first movie came out. I just thought it was so bizarre. I didn't watch it, but I worked at the movie theater. Either I worked at the movie theater, I just remember it being there and thinking, this guy's so weird.
And as we're saying, here's something that we haven't seen in a while. Disney had no material global box office results to report this weekend.
That's kind of weird.
But of course, it's going to start again back in November because it's got the Nutcracker and the Four Realms opening. So
I'm actually kind of excited about that one.
and maybe it's only because I've only seen the ballet and
Okay.
did not like it whatsoever.
You need to watch
Yeah.
Nutcracker Prince. It's a cartoon from the 90s, and that one is she doesn't go to another place, but she actually shrinks and interacts with the mice, and the dolls all come to life and everything. Oh no, wait, she does go to another realm, but it's so good and it's so fun. It's a really good movie to watch when you're a little girl and it comes out.
All right.
But it's cute.
Amy, as you were describing this, she was like,
Well,
"What? No."
Like, that's
No, it's
Thumbelina.
True. No, she's always small. She never shrunk.
I know, but like a character gets to be, I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
small, but I'm like, that's Thumbelina.
Yeah, Sandman and the
love
Wasp.
I don't know why
That's
she's
all it is.
Oh,
Well.
thank you. That too. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a cute cartoon.
right.
Nutcracker Prince.
There you go. True story.
Maybe
I sat there for the first half hour watching the Nutcracker, and then leaned over to the person next to me and said, "When did they start talking?" And I said, "They don't ever talk." And then I was like, "Why am I here?"
Oh no.
And I tried to fall asleep and I couldn't. It was a rough day.
No, I love the ballet, so
Not for
it's
me.
different. It's okay.
Thanks for validating
You're welcome.
my dismissal of an entire art form. No, not for me.
It's not for everyone, and that's okay.
All right, so folks, we've got, of course, Hunter Killer coming out next week, the film that we're doing the box office bet on it. But we also like to do a box office rewind. There you go, of somebody coming out in an upcoming film. This time I decided, hey, why don't we look at Common? Yes. He's got a nice body of work on him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, although I feel his #1, that's more of a bit part than a real major force in it. But we'll get to that in a second. So Common's top 5 box office opening weekend totals are #5, John Wick Chapter 2. That
Yes.
made $30.4 million.
That was good.
I feel like
That was a good sequel.
And he's left in a position where I think, we could see him in Chapter 3.
I think so.
So, which would be good. I feel like you don't leave him like that if we're not going to see him in some way, shape, or form. I feel like they would pick up on that thread. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he was fine on that. #4, Terminator Salvation from 2009, $42.5 million. I'll be honest, I do not remember him in that movie.
Which one?
There was a Christian Bale, McG.
I was gonna say, I'm like, nope, not ringing bells.
Yeah, it's. I feel like the only part that was cool to me was when they had the Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of. They brought him back as like the 80s looking T-800.
Pseudopause connecting to Terminator. Terminator, she has a trauma essentially and is attacked and is way more badass getting ready for the coming back. I don't think Halloween she has that sameness, but everybody responds to trauma differently. So just one of those, like, a character that you're like, yes, she's so cool when it comes back. And the other one, you're just like, you're really cool, but you've definitely had some issues.
Yeah, I felt like Linda Hamilton, she certainly had kind of gone off the deep end. I feel like she shares that same path with Laurie Strode, where very, I don't want to say like militant, but it's like obsessed to the point about that. But I feel like Laurie Strode has more of the damaging parts of that too, with the drinking and whatnot. That they didn't really dwell on that with Sarah Connor's character. Mm-hmm. So
They're just different ways to fight back later. But yes, anyways.
Number 3, American Gangster from Universal back in 2007, $43.5 million. I never did see that one. That was a Denzel Washington, Russell Crowe film.
Oh, I think I did, but not enough that I remember.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting it confused with American Graffiti, which is a completely different film.
Very close. I mean, there you go.
They're exactly the same.
Number 2, Wanted, also from Universal back in 2008, $50.9 million. That movie's fine. Yeah, no, it was all right.
Yeah, Wanted. Oh wait, Wanted. That was the kind of superhero-y comic booky
James
and the
McElroy
weird
and
gun.
Angelina Jolie.
Yes, I did like that one, but it is the, not realistic, and they just went over the top, and you went on that ride.
Was she at the Angelina Jolie just like whips that bullet around?
Yeah, it's crazy, but that's what was fun about it.
And Morgan Freeman's got that last quality shot there at the end of the film. So, number 1, though, Suicide Squad from 2016, $133 million that it did. And for him, as I said, it's just more of a bit part because he just has that scene where he's talking to the Joker and Harley Quinn in that nightclub scene. And then that's it. So, not much for comedy to do.
It.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to be in
Something more, yeah.
Yeah, just like more things. I know he's in charge of The Shy, which was on Showtime, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like he's an actor when he shows up. You think like, oh, are we going to get a little something? And then when you see him in Suicide Squad, you're like, oh, that was it?
Yeah, like do more with him. He's so
all
talented.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but speaking of Suicide Squad, there, if you've been following the whole James Gunn story, that it turns out that he's going to be, at least for right now, writing a new Suicide Squad script. Whether the directing part of that comes along, that hasn't been determined yet. But Disney's loss could be Warner Brothers' gain on this.
Yeah.
But I also feel like James Gunn was great, and Guardians of the Galaxy, I enjoy those films. But do I want to see him doing that same type of thing at Warner Brothers? If you're gonna, I'm all for Warner Brothers opening the doors for him. But do I want to see him do the same kind of thing, where it's a gang of kind of misfit characters banding together? Yeah. I'd like James Gunn. I've seen you do that. Let's open up the DC universe and let you pick somebody else and do something with that.
Well,
That'd be interesting.
Who says that he would do it exactly the same? Because then he'd be like, oh, it's just like Guardians. I feel like he would try to do something different. That's just not fair.
Well, true, but the premise of itself is just, you have this random assortment of, in this case, criminals.
Yeah.
But they're all kind of come together, people who don't get along, and they kind of work their way into some kind of dysfunctional family unit.
That's kind of in the trailer for Glass, which looks fun.
Yeah, that new trailer dropped for
Yes.
Glass.
That was before Halloween, too. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited.
It looks really intriguing. I will be very curious to see how that works out. I don't know. I still feel like Bruce Willis's character, I don't know, he still goes for that like rain poncho.
Yeah, that was
like,
interesting. Like, why?
All right, you don't have a better. You think like, oh, that's a great starter costume, but come on. Not that I want to see him in a full superhero costume, but there's got to be a better look than just that rain poncho, isn't there?
He's always ready for rain, though. Is that such a bad thing?
Well, he's got to watch out for that water. But
there you go.
There you go. All right. So, of course, we've got 100 Killer coming up here, 2,600 screens from Lionsgate as our box office bet. We'll be getting that into just a few minutes. But we'll be jumping into our top 5 for next week. Before we do that, though, I know you mentioned the Glass trailer. Any other trailers that kind of caught your attention? I know we had the release of the teaser for Aladdin. That was last week.
Yes. Oh, that looked good.
I mean, it looked fine.
I'm excited.
It did. I felt like it didn't,
It didn't show you much, but that's okay. It was a teaser. It's exactly what a teaser should do. If just here's a little bit of what we're gonna do, and no plot, but the orchestral sound of some of the songs. I was like, yes. I think that's one of the movies I first remember seeing in theaters, based on your post.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
She did a fun post. So what movie did you see? Do you remember seeing first in theaters? I
Are
remember
you
seeing that.
more excited to see this than you were to see Beauty and the Beast?
If only because I feel the less animal stuff is in it, it's easier to accomplish. Because in Aladdin, it's more like the genie is gonna look okay with special effects because it's not a real person. The Beast, even though that's not a real person thing, they went more special effects and they could have done practical and it would look cooler. So I'm curious.
I feel like the hardest thing with this is going to be how do you not bring up Robin Williams and his interpretation of the genie in the conversation as you're watching this film.
That's been a big debate on Twitter, but it's like doing a cover of a song. Either you're going to have to do it exactly the same or you have to be different because then otherwise all you're going to think about is it like the original.
But I feel like
It'll
this
feel off.
Well, the thing is that a song is like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. This is like at
A whole
least
movie.
an hour.
No, but
and a
the
half.
idea of like, you know when you hear a cover and either it sounds exactly like it or they do their own style, but when it's just a little bit off, you just think, oh, that's not what it sounds like.
I think it's way harder, unfortunately, because even if he does like, oh, it's so good, but it's different. People are gonna feel certain ways and have it affect the rest of the movie. You know,
it's true.
So I'm thinking about between Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. I can't even tell you the last time I saw Aladdin. So the trailer alone makes me want to watch the first one again and be like, oh hey,
Yeah. I feel there was another trailer that came on, but now I don't recall.
I am still doing the horror movies, like pretty much one a day. I did, we already talked about Halloween, but I did see What We Do in the Shadows for the first time.
You did?
Guys, that's so funny. How come no one told me? It is so funny.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my queue.
Watch it. You have to watch it. Watch it. You've seen it. You've seen it.
I have not seen it.
Guys, seriously? Okay, you need to watch it. Just watch it.
All right.
Just watch it.
There you go.
It's with Taika.
They also did speaking of superhero films, they did kind of more of an extended trailer for Aquaman.
Yeah, I've seen that one a couple times now.
Crap, it was extended?
Yeah, it just shows a little bit more in depth the sequence as they're running through that kind of desert kind of fortress or city where they're fighting against Black Manta. I mean, it's nicely shot. I don't. It's still. I have to admit, I like Jason Momoa's Aquaman a little bit in the Justice League film. It was like, all right, cool. It's kind of like that bro dude, like that just likes to live underwater and drink and stuff. But the more I see him in these trailers, I feel like the less I'm liking his character. He just feels, which is not what I want to do. But he just comes off as a lot more unlikable in this. The more I keep seeing of him, so.
I see him as unlikable, but I see him as very shallow.
That was great. I was going to say that the more that we see, I
need more from him.
Yeah, I think what they got for the trailers, hopefully, is not the best parts of what he's done. Because those parts, when you pick them up and you put them in there, you're like, oh. At least I do feel that way.
I worry that he could go from a character that's great in a sprinkling and more of an ensemble piece, that when the focus is put more on him, that the character, it just isn't that portrayed well enough for me to be like, all right, this like Wonder Woman did great. She held that fantastic. It was a character that really held her own, and I feel like she's a character that really deserves having this kind of spotlight put on her. I worry that I'm not going to feel the same way with Aquaman.
We'll just have to see.
That's true. It's the only way we'll ever know.
Speaking of teasers, Adelia in the chat says, in terms of teaser, Dumbo got me more excited than Aladdin teaser. Yes, the Dumbo trailer was getting me excited.
I haven't seen it yet. It just kind of like...
it
happened, and then I don't know what happened.
What about you?
I feel like I'm going to feel the same way about this film as I do with all Tim Burton's films. Visually, it's going to probably be incredible to watch, but I feel the story... There's going to be bits of it that he's going to feel like he's going to want to embellish or add his own little twist to that I feel like will make it a less enjoyable experience for me.
Fair enough.
Man.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
And
fingers crossed.
And shout out, and I'm like, yes, I 100% agree. Patrick in the chat brings up Summer of '84 was a good horror movie. That's a good real world horror one because there's nothing supernatural about it, and it has that 80s vibe, and it's really good. If you can go see it, I highly recommend.
Yeah, Amy, if you can go see it.
Yeah, okay. You guys go see. Well, don't go. I mean, you can see it somewhere. What We Do in the Shadows.
No, I want to see that one too. Summer of '84, I'd say look it up because it came out a little while ago. So
in '84?
Yeah, totally, in '84. Oh. No. But go look. Which one is?
All right.
I don't know where it is yet. But anyway.
All right, so we're going to do a little top 5 prediction for next week. We've got our
Yes.
Hunter Killer adding 2,600 screens. Do we see that coming anywhere close to toppling Halloween in its
No.
second weekend?
No. And getting closer to Halloween? No.
Do you see it doing better than A Star is Born? Could it come in at number 2?
Well, Stars Born has been out now for a couple weeks, so yeah.
That's been on 3 weeks so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it dropped like 30 or 40, it'd be pretty low.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you see Hunter Killer coming in on this? I mean, I feel like I've seen the trailer. I've seen a couple ads starting to play recently there on TV and stuff, but I don't feel like there's a lot of awareness for this film. So I just don't think it's gonna. I could easily see this one coming in, maybe even number 4, 3 or 4.
That was when I remember seeing trailers a while ago, and then they didn't push them again. So then I kind of forgot about it. That you said the name, and I had to go look it up. And
Yeah.
what was that movie again? Oh yes, that one.
Gary Oldman's in it too.
Yeah, it's. I mean, because if you look at A Star is Born, Venom, and even to a lesser extent Goosebumps, they're still on 3,500 or more screens. So, I mean, same thing if
True.
First Man is on 36. This is the only release coming in and only on 2,600 screens. I mean, I think it could do better than First Man, but I don't, and maybe Goosebumps, but I don't think it could do better than even
But the
Venom.
question is, could Goosebumps and Halloween continue to do better as we get closer to Halloween?
I mean, I could see how. I mean, I don't know if Halloween will do better than it did this weekend, but I think
No,
it'll
but
hold.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it'll hold really well.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with 5. It will bump out First Man, and everything will stay the same.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Yeah.
I say 4. So it's gonna bump out First Man.
All right, and it's going to be above Goosebumps.
It's gonna be above Goosebumps. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go with you on that too. I feel confident about that one. I still feel like Venom and Star is Born are still high enough that I think even with their drop, it'll still do better than Hunter Killer.
No movie to bet on because there's only one coming out.
There could be only one.
There's only one.
We just
Oh my gosh, it's
we were
happening.
yeah.
It's
wow.
happening already.
It's happening.
The mind meld is commencing.
We're hanging out too much. Ugh.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it is that time now to do our box office bet. As always, we look to you in the chat when we do have more than 2 films. This week is one of those, much like last week, where we only have
Just
one
one.
film to choose from. So it'll be Hunter Killer from Lionsgate with Gerard Butler, Common, Gary Oldman, and more. We will be betting on what the actual box office total will be for its opening weekend. Whoever gets closest, we're going to be like Amy here and just,
And
plead.
Anthony want to.
He's not here, so I still have not seen him do this show since we moved to this time slot, so he's dead to me.
He did it the first time.
Yeah, well, where is he now?
He left us.
You're going to be the prognosticator. Prognosticators, the loser will have to see this film and tell us about it.
But if I say it's 5, look at what the other numbers are. It's like, oh, I have to put it really low.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But it might be.
I just, with the fact that the lack of awareness as well as its screen count does not really give me much hope for this film.
Okay, I'll just go super low then.
I'm scared.
All right.
I just want to win.
Okay.
Oh, changing it.
There you go. All right.
Well.
Hey.
There we go. We're all locked in. Amy, Cassandra Martinez, what do you have?
8.
Oh,
Oh, this is good.
5.
no, I went 10.
Ah!
Oh,
Feels good to be a gangster.
man. All right. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Figure-
oh
you got to
boy.
do better
Oh
than
boy.
all right. It has
But if
to-
it's number 5, then I'm,
Yeah, I know. Please. There's got to be at least $5 million worth of Gerard
Yeah.
Butler fans, right?
Oh, everyone in the chat's going a bit higher. Zaya Spilu agrees with my thoughts that the other films will pick up more for Halloween. Adelia says 6. I'm liking your thinking. Levy Speak says 18. Janet Mouse says 15. Zaya says 10. Kenjack says 7.5. Edgar says 7.
All right.
So,
I'll take.
we're all on the low end.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'll take a 7.5. I feel good about that. That still would be all right for me.
That would mean I would win.
Well, yeah, but I
'Cause I
wouldn't
said
lose.
8.
Oh no, we'd be. Then we both. I'd have to take Carrie with me. I'm gonna drag her down with
That's
me.
fine.
All right.
Well, wait, it's a submarine movie.
Yeah, that's right.
down. Yeah.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. We've done it again.
Oh my goodness, what?
Good
I
for
know.
us.
Yes.
Yay.
As always, folks, though, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give it a thumbs up, or 2 or 3, however many thumbs up you'd like to put. Please do that. And thanks everybody for hopping in the chat. Next week, promise, we're going to have much more films being released, so we'll have more. A bigger
One?
Yes. I think we have 3.
Yeah, at
No,
least 2
you're talking
really good
about.
ones.
Yes. So I have 3 films for you to bet on next week. You'll be able to, it's been 2
Oh my
long
goodness.
weeks without being
miss
able to
it.
get involved in box office bet.
Yeah.
So absolutely. But Kari, if they're watching us after we stream live, what can they do?
Yes, you can all comment down below on the movies we talked about. And I guess since we got spoilery about Halloween, you can maybe, but put like spoilers.
Yeah.
And then go
why not?
like.
Yeah, and then you go down, so you have to like click more. Yes.
That's right. Absolutely. And if you want to get in touch with any of us even after the show's over, Amy, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ. And actually, next weekend will be the last weekend in October. And then we're in November. Did you guys know that?
Well, yeah, because we know how calendars work.
Oh, that's nice. Great.
I'm sorry, but who are you? Were you?
I didn't see your
Cassandra
thing.
and oh shoot, sorry.
Yeah.
Hi. You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ.
Nailed it.
Thanks. That was great. Thank you.
Wow, we're all kinds of crazy tonight.
right.
Yes. And my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE.
Nailed it. All right, everybody. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie.
Nailed it.
No, not really.
Okay.
Follow.
Thanks for watching. Thank you, live
Yes.
chat. And we love you even if you didn't watch it live. It's okay.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. But make sure, folks, go see some movies. And we'll see you back here next Sunday night with another episode of Box Office Breakdown right here on Popcorn Talk. Bye, everybody.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.